This is a recorded version. New questions can't be taken. If you want to ask the question to the panelist, please join the live session every Saturday at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time, or 4:30 p.m. IST India time.
पुरुष है कह हंस विश्राम
VYGOS is Vihangam Yoga Global Online Satsang, which is scheduled every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Those who would miss to attend the morning session can listen to the broadcast replay on Sunday evening at 4:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. The aim of this forum is to give the entire world an opportunity to learn the ancient science of meditation and benefit from this pious service inspired by Sadguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj, the pioneer of Vihangam Yoga. If you are interested in learning the technique or want to conduct a program at your place, and for any inquiry related to it, please feel free to write to us at info@vihangamyog.org. That is info@vihangamyoga.org.
Very warm greetings to all you ladies and gentlemen for having gathered on this platform from all across the globe today. I am Anurag Dev, joining us from Bangalore, India, your host of the day, your facilitator for this day about this platform. I would like to take the opportunity to thank all of you for taking our times from a very busy materialistic life and being a part of us about this platform. We had a very wonderful session last week discussing about one of the prime attributes in the spiritual world, the concept of Seva, the concept of upliftment of oneself. Through the question answer session, through the guest lecture, we were able to imbibe this concept and also understand its practical relevance in our day-to-day life. Today, we move our attention to the next prime attribute in the journey, the concept of Satsang, the concept of the sacred meeting, spiritual gathering or spiritual convention, or in one word, the company of truth. If you would have noticed carefully, or I myself, the name of the platform itself carries the word Satsang, Vihangam Yoga Global Online Satsang. And many times when I have introduced as a host in the session, I have welcomed the guests, I have welcomed the audience, saying welcome to the online Global Satsang series. We have been listening to this word for quite some time now. From the ancient culture we belong to, from the traditions we carry, and from the very lotus feet of our spiritual master Sadguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj. One thing that I have been a witness to, one thing that I have learned is that the awakening of the spiritual wisdom, the ultimate wisdom, is not possible without attending or being a part of Satsang, the sacred gathering, or without being in the company of truth. What is Satsang? What is the relevance of this particular Satsang in our life? How Satsang can bring transformation in our lives? What are different kinds of Satsangs possible and how they can be attained. How can Satsang lead or transform ourselves to a very higher plane? Questions so many and answers to many more is what we are going to look, is what we are going to reflect upon in today's session. In today's session, we have lined up for you a blend of short musical prayers, question and answer sessions for the clarification of doubts or for answering the questions posted by our seekers, and then which is followed by a deep dive into today's topic, the satsang, through a guest lecture. As we proceed on with the session, I request all my audience, all the listeners across the globe to continue posting their queries on slido.com/bygos platform or on through the WhatsApp numbers that has been shared and is being continuously shared on the screen now. We will now dive into the beginning of the session, the beginning of the ceremony, with the prayers for welcoming Sadhguru's divine energy to bless the occasion with its presence, to help us realize the ultimate aim of life, the Swagat Gan, which will be later followed by a prayer for universal peace and prosperity. That's called Mangal Gan. Let's fold our hands in the posture of a prayer, concentrate and listen to Swagat Gan and Mangal Gan.
आज स्वागत नित्य गुरुवर संत शुभागम आइए, अध्यात्म विद्या दिव्य ज्योति सोमरस बरसाइए। दोष दुर्गुण दूर करके शुद्ध हंस बनाइए, भेद गम गति ज्ञान गर्जन शक्ति द्वार हटाइए। खुले द्वारा शब्द सागर भक्त जन अनहवाइए, जन सदा फल विश्व शिक्षक शान आन बचाइए, शान आन बचाइए। विश्व शांति नाम मंगल परम गुरु को ध्याइए, वर्ग द्वंद्व शांति दूर कर भाव भेद मिटाइए। सार्वभौम समष्टि सत्ता त्यात्मराज बनाइए, वेश भाषा भाव जगमय ज्ञान पर दर्शाइए। समृद्धि सुख शांति धरातल स्वर्ग भूमि बनाइए, विश्व शिक्षक जन सदा फल नीतीश्वर अपनाइए, नीतीश्वर अपनाइए।
That was the prayer, Swagat Gan and Mangal Gan, that we were just listening to. As said earlier, with Swagat Gan, we welcomed and we prayed for Sadhguru. We prayed to Sadhguru for blessing the occasion with its divine energy, with its presence, which was later followed by the prayer of Mangal Gan, the prayer of prosperity for every being in this creation. We now move our attention to one of the very, very important segments in this session, the recitation of few relevant compositions on the topic of the day, from the Encyclopedia of Spirituality, Surveyed. Surveyed, as I have been stressing and as my fellow hosts have also stressed in the previous sessions, is a composition of life experiences Sadhgurudev himself had during his journey of the spiritual recitation. It's not a reference from any other spiritual book, or it's not a reference of a knowledge from somewhere else. Surveyed, why we call it the Encyclopedia of Spirituality, is a composition of live experiences, the live knowledge which Sadhgurudev had in his journey of spiritual exploration. The truth depicted in its pure form, that's what Sadhgurudev's Surveyed is. I request Vijayji from USA to go ahead and continue with the recitation and the explanation of few relevant compositions on Surveyed.
Thank you, Anurag Devji. Jai Sadhgurudev, everybody. This is Vijay joining from New Jersey, USA. We have a very beautiful topic today, Satsang, which is going to be very transformational if we truly understand Satsang or the need of Satsang in our life. One fine evening, I saw two pieces of wood floating with and against the current of River Hudson in New Jersey. One flowing helplessly in the direction of the current was a dead wood without any guide. And another one was a boat with a powerful row stick that was able to sail with valor against the harsh current and easily against the soft one. Do we want to allow our life to flow in the stream of Maya like a dead wood, hopping from one milestone of life to another, not knowing enough where truly lies my destiny of ultimate satisfaction, peace, and happiness? Or we want to choose to become a boat with the clarity of a destiny, holding a powerful row stick of wisdom. The choice is ours. How can we realize our true goal of life? From where would I be able to obtain the row stick of wisdom? Let us hear the answer from the Encyclopedia of Spirituality, the Surveyed. Surveyed enlightens. उत्तम जीवन जगत में है आधार सत्संग, अपने सत्य कर्तव्य का द्योतक परश सुरंग. The foundation of making the best life in this world is Satsang. As through nothing else but Satsang, one happens to recognize the true goal of human life. With the divine touch of Satsang, darkness of ignorance vanishes, and we are motivated to build nothing but a golden life, characterized by ultimate wisdom, virtues, control, peace, and happiness. Surveyed further says, सदाचार व्याभिचार से मूर्ख से विद्वान, भोगी से योगी बने, फल सत्संग महान. The pious satsang transforms a person of adultery, ill-behaved, to a virtuous, foolish to a scholar, and pleasure loving to a yogi ready for inward journey. Just like we regularly apply soap on the body for keeping it clean, mind and other inner organs are kept clean with the regular soap of satsang. Without satsang, a pleasure-loving finds it hard to find an end to temptations. An ignorant remains fooled by investing entire human life just in sensual gratification, doing nothing for the bliss and liberation of soul. Any knowledge of matter would not and does not compensate for the need of satsang. In ancient time also, Rishi Sukesh, being the scholar of Vedang, still went in the shelter of Sadguru Piplad for the experience of truth. Even after being the scholar of Vedang, Rishi Budil took shelter of King Ashwapati, the preacher of Brahma Vidya during that time. Muni Narad was already scholar of 14 knowledge, including astrology, astronomy, other Vedang and 4 Vedas. Still, he could not find peace without getting satsang in the shelter of Sadguru Sanat Kumar. How soon can satsang transform our life depends on the virtues with which we attend it. So, dear friends, satsang is transformational, provided we allow or we prepare ourselves for transformation to happen. There is certain virtue we should keep within us when we attend in satsang. Sarved says, Seva se satsang hai, Guru satsangati bodh, Jnana prapti anya vidhi nahi, Tan man antar sodh. One is truly touched by satsang only when one is endowed with the quality of service, the servitude, humbleness, and is open for the wisdom of satsang. Satsang happens at various levels, but eventually one should seek the satsang of Sadguru with the servitude, as through Sadguru satsang alone, ultimate wisdom unfolds in human life. There is absolutely no other way. With body, mind, and soul, one should experiment the teachings of satsang and grow in spiritual journey by following the spiritual principles as taught by Sadguru Dev. Hence, O aspirants of spirituality, look out for satsang for remaining inspired. Find true Sadguru and associate yourself with Sadguru, his discourses of truth, for the upliftment in spiritual path. Jai Sadgurudev. Over to you, Anurag.
Thank you very much, Vijayji. That was indeed a very enlightening discourse from the scripture of Sarved, from the Encyclopedia of Spirituality. Sarved did answer many questions in very short and in a very great manner. Vijayji did a very fine job of elaborately explaining it. He brought out the essence of this session, how satsang can bring transformation in our lives, the foundation of making best in the life, the attainment of highest standards of wisdom, the highest standards of humanity, all possible with the inclusion of this one attribute in our life, Satsang, the company of truth, the sacred meeting. I remember Swarved goes on to say, Sadachar Vevichar se Murak se Vidwan, Bhogi se Yogi bane, Fal Satsang Mahan. It is through the great quality of Satsang that we can achieve the highest standards of ultimate wisdom, the highest standards of humanity. That's the relevance, that's the importance Swarved brings out for this particular topic of Satsang. Once again, thanks to Vijayji for wonderfully bringing this out in his discourse, in his recitation. We now move towards taking a deeper look into this thought, into this topic for today. I would like to invite our Prime Speaker of the day, who fortunately was also the Prime Speaker of the last session, Mrs. Khushboo. Professionally, you serve as a company secretary for an energy firm in India. However, you have been blessed with the presence of Sadhguru's divine energy in your life for quite some time. And today we are blessed again to have you among ourselves as a guest speaker on this particular topic. I hand over my control of the session to Khushbooji to take us deeper into this particular topic of the day. Khushbooji.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to this edition of the Vihangam Yoga Global Online Satsang. May I take this opportunity to quote from a famous poem by Robert Frost. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by. And that has made all the difference. So welcome again, ladies and gentlemen, to the Vihangam Yoga Global Online Satsang, which is the road less travelled in life, but one that makes all the difference. This session, much like Vihangam Yoga, is as different from the road well travelled as quantum physics is from classical physics, because it challenges our commonly held assumptions and shows us that truth is stranger than fiction. The topic for this session is, what is Satsang? How is it important? It is said that the four pillars of spirituality are Seva, Satsang, Sadhna, and Swadhyaya. In a previous session, we examined the meaning and importance of Seva. In this session, we shall examine the meaning and significance of Satsang. The word Satsang emanates from the Sanskrit language. It is a combination of two words. First and foremost is Satya, or the truth, and secondly, Sang, which implies the association or company. A thorough understanding of the first of these words, Satya, is of paramount importance. If we understand it well, we will know the meaning of Satsang to its fullest. Before we commence a deep dive, I would like to share with you an interesting question put across to me earlier this year. I was part of the Vihangam Yoga team conducting one of our weekly meditation workshops at the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, for undergraduate, postgraduate, doctorate researcher and professors. We asked the participants what they wished to achieve from their participation in the session. A young lady replied that she wanted the answer to the question, who am I? When prodded further, she shared that she wanted to know who she really was, and this was something that many others also sought answers to. In fact, the purpose of life is self-realization. We know it to be so in the behavioral sciences, where Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs ends with self-realization at the top of the pyramid. But in spirituality, self-realization is an intermediate goal, albeit a very important one. The end goal is realization of the Supreme Being. Hence, the actual meaning of satsang is association with the truth. To know the truth as is, living with the words of realized souls, Santo ka Sang. The element of satya or the truth in the word satsang is indicative of the highest truth, the truth that is the Supreme Being. Satya satya se alag hai, so par satya swaroop. Akath alaukik tattva hai, aj anadi var roop. Swarved Mandal 1, Chapter 1, Verse 1. The ultimate truth, the unchanging, omnipotent, omnipresent, Supreme Being is different from other entities of Satya as well as Asatya. All entities that are eternal are called to be Satya, the truth that never changes. Soul that we are is one among unchanging truth. And what is Asatya? Asatya is the temporal, ever-changing natural world. However, the truth incarnate Supreme Being is the one who pervades through all entities of Satya as well as Asatya. The truth incarnate Lord is all-pervading. It pervades Asatya too. Yet it is completely different from Asatya. It is unparalleled, unequaled. There is no entity that is comparable to it. It is eternal and does not change. Satsang, therefore, is a means to attain knowledge of the Supreme Being. There are various levels of satsang, just as there are various grades at school. Each of them works towards the same objective, and it gets progressively more advanced with every passing grade. The first stage of Vihangam Yoga meditation is like primary school. It is where we learn to regulate the outward orientation of the mind and turn it inward. The second stage involves further refinement, and in higher stages, we have self-realization. We know that we are the soul, not the body. The fourth and fifth stages turn the consciousness of the soul into the subtlest form, and finally, if we are blessed by the Sadguru, the true teacher, we get to know the Supreme Being. In Vihangam Yoga, the secrets of spiritual achievement are well explained in a transparent and comprehensible way in the Swarved. As per the Swarved, the seeker needs a true teacher, the Sadguru, to illuminate the spiritual journey and handhold him and propel him from one level to another. Service of Sadguru, called Seva, and the company of Sadguru, called Satsang, are the strongest pillars of spirituality. Selfless service, that Seva is, can get you Satsang of the Sadguru. However, even if you are not in the physical presence of Sadguru, you could still be in Satsang, since the Sadguru is not the physical body but the energy, which, like the Supreme Being, is all pervasive in the universe and beyond. The Sadguru's energy is invoked whenever two or more people sit together and discuss Seva or share the disseminate the knowledge of Vihangam Yoga or relate incidents from the Sadguru's life. Similarly, we invoke the Sadguru's power when we sit in sadhana, even when we are all alone. When we sit together and do sadhana, the invocation is much stronger, and in moments we can feel the strong spiritual vibrations that emanate from locations where Sadguru's Seva, Satsang or Sadhana are done. A collective presence clearly draws more power than singular effort. Hence, a collective satsang works like a force multiplier for beginners and intermediate practitioners alike. Sadhana or meditation done collectively by a number of spiritual seekers, done as instructed by the Sadguru, facilitates deeper progression into the unique spiritual path that Vihangam Yoga is. Satsang with sadhana done in front of the Sadguru's picture or statue after singing the Swagat Gan in the prescribed manner is known to yield far better results than doing so without it. A satsang can therefore be of multiple forms. First, the Sadguru addresses seekers himself, as is done during Amritvani. Sitting in the vicinity of Sadguru, a truth itself is the form of satsang. Second is an authorized representative of Vihangam Yoga, such as an Updeshta, initiator, or one who is empowered to initiate people into the Vihangam Yoga meditation, or Pracharak, shares knowledge of what Vihangam Yoga is, its benefits, and about its founder Sadguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj. Third is seekers discussing Vihangam Yoga meditation or about the Sadguru, his life, and his work among themselves. Fourth is an online or electronic platform which can enable any of the above, such as the Vihangam Yoga Global Online Satsang or a broadcast of the Sadguru's speech on the television or internet, which is heard by two or more people seated together. Fifth is collective reading sessions based on the Swarved, Vihangam Life, Sadguru Sandesh, Vihangam Yoga books, and associated reading material which combines Swadhyaya with Satsang. Sixth is the spiritual form of Satsang happens in highest stage of meditation when the soul associates itself with Supreme Being in Yoga. The Vihangam Yoga Global Online Satsang is an excellent platform for people from across the world to learn and share experiences in meditation done for the purpose of self-realization and realization of the Supreme Being. It is satsang for those who are unable to attend a satsang physically. However, it is not a substitute for a physical satsang, but only a supplement. Just as a video conference is no substitute for a physical meeting for a matter of the highest significance, such as self-realization or realization of the Supreme Being. Those seekers who feel that their progress in sadhana, meditation, is slow could well be missing out on the other pillars, primarily Seva and Satsang. We would suggest them to take up Seva and Satsang in all earnest and see the difference it makes in their meditation and indeed in success and joy in their day-to-day lives, careers, health and relationships. Jai Sadgurudev.
Thank you very much, Khushboo, for this real enlightening session on the concept of satsang. All that questions which I had in the beginning, which I guaranteed would be a takeaway from the session, Khushboo did bring out answers to all of them in a wonderful way. Selfless service that Seva is can get you satsang, company of Sadguru. How wonderfully it has been explained. She very clearly brought out that the concept of Seva is not a substitute. It's not a different, streamline than, concept of satsang. Both of them, they don't work separately. They got to be worked on together. Without the attitude of selfless service, without the attitude of Seva, the true satsang, the true company of Sadguru is not possible. She brought out various forms of satsang that one can be a part of, even being busy day and night in this materialistic world. All of us are busy. Everybody is busy. You and me always busy. If we don't have to draw out time, we cannot draw out time. That's how the life is moving. At some point of the time, we need to step back, we need to think. As Vijayji brought out the logs of wood flowing in the river, meaninglessly, directionlessly, without any direction. If we want our life to be same, or if we want a different meaning to it, that's where concept of Seva, the concepts of Satsang comes into picture. I'm delighted to see a lot of many questions coming up on Slido. Our seekers, our listeners across the globe have taken up the topic very seriously. I thank you for that. This is indeed a very, very serious topic that we would be discussing and taking a further look onto these questions and reflect upon some more concepts related to satsang. We will have it in the Q&A session very shortly. For the time being, we move towards the segment of bhajan. I invite Sankalp Bhushanji from Bangalore, India. He is a software engineer associated with the software field and is a motivator, a real inspirator to many of the young minds in Bangalore. I invite him to take on the control and present a bhajan among us. Sankalpji, to you.
Thank you, Anurag Devji. Jai Sadgurudev to everyone. Here is the bhajan taken from the collection of Sahab. Sadgurudev ki jai. मिट्टी में मिलेगी मिट्टी, पानी में पानी, अरे अभिमानी, अरे अभिमानी। मिट्टी में मिलेगी मिट्टी, पानी में पानी, अरे अभिमानी, अरे अभिमानी। भाई और बंधु तेरे काम नहीं आएंगे, कुटुंब कबीला सब यही छूट जाएंगे। ओ भाई और बंधु तेरे काम नहीं आएंगे, कुटुंब कबीला सब यही छूट जाएंगे। कहाँ संग चलेंगे तेरे मित्र और साथी, अरे अभिमानी, अरे अभिमानी। मिट्टी में मिलेगी मिट्टी, पानी में पानी, अरे अभिमानी, अरे अभिमानी। रही ना निशानी जग में राजा और वजीरों की, एक एक सांस तेरी लाख लाख हीरों की। हो रही ना निशानी जग में राजा और वजीरों की, एक एक सांस तेरी लाख लाख हीरों की। 2.5 गज टुकड़ा डोली होएगी रवानी, अरे अभिमानी, अरे अभिमानी। मिट्टी में मिलेगी मिट्टी, पानी में पानी, अरे अभिमानी, अरे अभिमानी। खाना और पीना केवल नहीं तेरा काम है, गुरु का विज्ञान ले ले जहाँ हरि नाम है। ओ
खाना और पीना केवल नहीं तेरा काम है, गुरु का विज्ञान ले ले जहाँ हरि नाम है। बीत न जाए तेरी सारी जिंदगानी, अरे अभिमानी, अरे अभिमानी। मिट्टी में मिलेगी मिट्टी, पानी में पानी, अरे अभिमानी, अरे अभिमानी। कर ले कमाई जग में सद्गुरु नाम की, इसी में भलाई तेरी बात होगी काम की। कर ले कमाई जग में सद्गुरु नाम की, इसी में भलाई तेरी बात होगी काम की। जन्म को सफल तो कर ले, कर मत नादानी, अरे अभिमानी, अरे अभिमानी, अरे अभिमानी, अरे अभिमानी। मिट्टी में मिलेगी मिट्टी, पानी में पानी, अरे अभिमानी, अरे अभिमानी। सद्गुरुदेव की जय। ओवर टू यू अनुराग देव जी।
Thank you so much, Sankal Bhushan ji. That was mesmerizing. That was wonderful in its way. Mitti mein milegi mitti, pani mein pani. From the dust we came, to ashes we finally belong to. All that we have gathered in this materialistic world will all be left behind. This bhajan wonderfully brought out the meaning of every breath, the value of every breath, equivalent to millions of diamonds. Thank you again for this wonderful bhajan, Sankal Bhushan ji. We now move to the very important segment of the session, the question answer session, to enlighten and to take a deep dive into this topic. And we are today honored to have back with us Dr. Hemant, who is joining us from USA today. Hemant ji is a former NASA scientist and is living the blissful life of Vihangam Yoga. He is actually living the life of a great Sevak, and nobody could be more eligible than him to reflect upon these concepts of Seva and Satsang. I welcome you, Hemant ji, and I have a very limited frame of time, so we will try to take as many questions as possible. Hope my voice is loud and clear to you.
Yes, very much. Thank you very much.
Yes, so let us start this with the first questions from our listeners. I have many questions actually, 4 or 5 of them in line. So let's see how much we can do the justice to as many as possible. The first question is, it was mentioned in the speech of the speaker that self-realization is life's goal. It is also often mentioned in spiritual circles. How has this conclusion been reached? So I believe this. Yeah, go ahead, Hemanji.
Yeah, that's actually a very interesting question. But see, the entire Vihangam Yoga comes from the knowledge which Sadhguru Shadafal Devji Maharaj achieved after 17 long years of penance. And he himself got the glimpse, and the knowledge he received was from the Eternal Master. The Eternal Master is the Eternal Sadhguru. And he got the glimpse. He was blessed. He appeared in front of Sadhguru Shadafal Devji Maharaj. And then he was initiated into Vihangam Yoga meditation. And then he made a cave, and then he sat there for 17 long years continuously, and he started moving out from one stage to the next one. So he started with controlling the mind, purification of mind. Then you go and do the meditation at the 10th door. You move on, you self-realize, that means you see the self. And then finally the yoga, which we consider as union and not the yoga which we all know of, the exercise which we do as asanas and pranayama. But the yoga that happens when the self-realize, after self-realization, when you see the soul moves and unites with the supreme being. And that happens in the 4th and the 5th stage of Vihangam Yoga. So Sadhguru Shadafal Devji Maharaj completed all the 5 stages of Vihangam Yoga meditation. And then after a realization of that supreme being, whatever knowledge he received in the state of Samadhi, he wrote that in Swarved. And there he mentions not about all the secrets, so all the secrets which you see in the physical world, in the cosmic world, and then the beyond, the world which we call as conscious world. So he has received both the knowledge, and then he started teaching this knowledge. Second thing, Swamiji talks about that once he started teaching this knowledge, he travels across the length and breadth of India, and people got initiated into this meditation. Because this meditation is not available by just any guru, because it is received from the eternal master. He made it simple for the worldly people like us to learn and practice. And people who have practiced, they have also realized the Brahm in their own life when they have practiced it seriously. So yes, there has been conclusion not only from the guru, but the disciples who learned it, who practiced it with dedication. And Swamiji writes, Bina sant sad guru mile, bodh kishi ko nahi, nahi hua nahi hoega, bodh sant sangamahi. So the importance or the message that Vihangam Yoga sends out to all the listeners here is that you first need to seek the right master, the true master. And this true master actually appears in front of you. So if you're a true seeker, Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj was blessed by the eternal master. And then he taught that knowledge which was lost. So since the time of Mahabharat Kal, since that time, this knowledge was lost. So Swamiji revived this knowledge and received in the state of Samadhi. And then he started teaching this. And no wonder he talks about that Purna Roop Mein Janata Brahma Chakra Vistar Brahma Vidya Gudha Tattva Hai Sadguru Kripa Apar. So I know the entire secrets of this cosmic world, the physical worlds of atoms and molecules, the world which you see in the diverse in nature. And then he has also realized all the secrets of the conscious world, which is what is we are soul is conscious. We cannot see it. It can't be burnt. It can't be wet. But you exist. Why? Because you're listening, you're talking, you're interacting with the world. When you're not in this body, you die. So Swamiji has all these secrets of knowledge, and he's emphatically mentioning this in Swarved. Who else has done that? Someone who has realized this, all these secrets, tenets and philosophies in its correct form, he has put that in Swarved. So Swarved is a knowledge treasure house for us as a theory, and the practice is when you learn this technique and practice it in your home. And of course, you can clarify your thoughts through this discourses. So yes, there's a very, very strong foundation of Vihangam Yoga, and that comes from the Sadhguru Shadafal Devji Maharaj. Thank you, Anurag Devji.
Thanks, Hemanji. Thanks a lot. So as I get from you, Hemanji, this conclusion has been reached with the practical meditation. And it is through this practical practice of meditation that one can realize this very conclusion in its actual life, in its own life. There is a next question. In fact, there are two questions which I would like to combine about satsang. So I think the seeker had a note during the speech. The first question says, what is meant by we invoke Sadhguru's power during satsang? And the second question says, invocation of Sadhguru's energy when two or more people sit together for satsang. Can you kindly elaborate a little more on this? Hemanji, how would you reflect upon these thoughts?
Yeah, this is another very interesting question. The first point here is that you can invoke the Sadguru's energy only when you have been initiated by Sadguru or one of the instructor who is authorized to do so. So once you are initiated into Vihangam Yoga, actually you get connected with the Sadguru's energy eternally. Sant beej binishe nahi beete yug anant, ऊंच नीच गृह जन्म ले, बहुरी sant का संग. The moment that initiation seed is implanted in you, today or tomorrow it's going to blossom. So that's the first thing. So you seek a Sadguru and then you get initiated. That means you get to learn this technique from the master himself or from the authorized instructor. Now, when you are sitting together or you are even sitting, practicing all by yourself, the other important thing is that you seek the blessing of the master. That's what we all do. This is the tradition that you first invoke the Sadguru's power. And how do you do that? You just pray. And what's that prayer? Aaj swagat nitya guruvar, santa shubhagamaye. So we have, and in the beginning of this discourse itself, we actually played. There were people who were singing. So we invoke the Sadguru's power to bless us. That's more important, that you need to do that. You pray to the master, please come in front of me. I'm just a humble soul. I'm a humble seeker. I'm just a follower. I'm just a disciple who's just learning. I don't know what is to unfold. You are the one who is going to bless me. You are the one who is going to send me the experience, which we call anubhav. That has to come from the master to the disciple. For that, the disciple should be ready. And how do you do that? You pray. So you need to pray, and there is prescribed format. Even Sadhguru Sadhafal Devji Maharaj used to pray to his master. And of course, he has now, as I said, he made everything in the form of tenets and philosophies of Vihangam Yoga. So yes, you can do that. You can do that together, which we often do that. And practically all the satsangs, which we all do, we invoke Sadhguru's power. And then, of course, we also pray for the peace of the world. And that's also sung. So yes, you can invoke in these two ways. You can invoke the Sadhguru's energy, and you can make the environment conducive for meditation. And of course, you also chant some mantra of Swarved, which is nothing but the energy house of Sadhguru. These are the teachings and writings of Sadhguru. That's another way of doing that. And then during meditation, again, when you chant the mantra, when you are initiated into, that's another way of doing that. So they all need to be done. And then when you sit in meditation, you get a lot of experience. And then, of course, you start connecting with Sadhguru's energy. And as you move on into meditation, what you see that the transformation or the change that brings into you, all the thought process that happens during meditation, how that's being controlled, how that is being kept at bay, how the mind is being controlled, how the mind is being purified, everything, even the experience of light. You also hear a lot of words. There are Panch Brahmandiya Shabd that's happening inside your body. There is Niranjan, there is Om, there is Soham, there is Shakti, there is Rarankar. These are the 5 Shabd, or the words that is happening inside your Brahmand. Brahmand is the part of your body that is above your torso or your neck. And the below part is all the pind. And then there is 10 Anhat. So these are all 10 Anhats are nothing but 10 different musical instruments that have been playing inside your body 24/7. You listen, all of these experiences. On top of that, all these words also has another form, which is in the form of light. You experience that. How do you get that? Again, with the master's blessings. So yes, Sadhguru's invoking the power of Sadhguru is very important to progress in spirituality. So the question is right, but yeah, these are the ways you can do that and achieve that. Thank you, Anurag.
Yes, Hemanji. So continuing with this particular concept of satsang, and we also heard during the initial speech, maybe the last question of the day, the concept of seva, and when it is combined with satsang, even if we realize their importance in our life, it's very difficult to actually imbibe them in real life. Mind is always pulling us back to get involved, from refraining from getting involved into these attributes. How do I think the seeker is basically looking for a way to get his mind interested into these concepts and take it into a real life practice. Hemanji, your short thoughts for next 2 minutes would be helpful here.
Yeah, that's I think one of the most important question. Your mind does not want to get into meditation just because that's what the mind is conditioned as we speak. The mind looks into this outside world and it wants sensual pleasures from the level of senses. So how would you actually bring the mind towards meditation? How would you get the spiritual upliftment or progress which you want? And Swamiji writes in Swarved, Sadguru Santan se ye, fir piche satsang. बोध भेद उपदेश है साधन अगम असंग बोध भक्ति प्रभु मिलन है जीवन मुक्ति आनंद तत् सेवा सत्संग है जाहि छुटे भव फंद. So yes, the importance of seva is very, very important, because only when you do the seva, the service, the selfless service to the master gets pleased, and only when the master gets pleased, it's only with the blessing of the Sadguru, your mind gets controlled, your mind gets purified. A mind who was at some point of time was a vagabond, was looking in a direction opposite the satsang, opposite the meditation, gets involved, it gets redirected, gets purified. Why? Because all your actions in this body has to happen through the mind. So once the mind is purified, it automatically gets aligned with the thought process of your soul, the you yourself. You want meditation, but the mind doesn't want. So the moment the mind gets aligned along with the thought process or your own energy, the soul's energy, and of course that's being blessed by the Sadguru, then your mind gets aligned with satsang, and then you get progress in spirituality. So yes, the importance of Sadguru is again there, and because it helps to control the mind. So, and for that you need to do seva. Seva helps you to get into meditation and in progress in spirituality. Thank you, Anuragji, for having me here.
Thank you very much, Hemanji, for the enlightening question-answer sessions. The importance of Sadguru, seek Sadguru in life. I think that has been the essence of almost all the sessions that we have been doing. Almost all the spiritual and physical concepts that we have been exploring, right from mind to the highest attainment, the high attainment of the highest goal in life. Thanks to all the speakers, we now move towards the concluding segment of the session, the recitation of Shanti part. Let's close our eyes, let's fold our hands and pray for the Shanti, pray for the peace of all the divine energy around us.
विराग त्याग की शांति हो, उदासीनता शांति, सेवा जित शिष्य शांति हो, सत्य शांति हो शांति. हे प्रभु शांति स्वरूप हो, शांति शांतिमय शांति, शांति शांति जन शांति हो, पूर्ण शांतिमय शांति. हे प्रभु शांति प्रदान कर, दूर हो सर्व अशांति, देव सदा फल शांति में, शांति शांति सुख शांति. हे प्रभु शांति प्रदान कर, दूर हो सर्व अशांति, देव सदा फल शांति में, शांति शांति सुख शांति.
That was Shanti Pach, the prayer of peace, to conclude this segment, to conclude this session of today. I thank all the speakers and all the audiences, all the listeners across the globe who have taken out their precious time to be a part of this segment, to be a part of this session with us. We reflected upon the concepts of Satsang, which was preceded by the concept of Seva. We had learned a lot, and ultimately we have reached to the summary, to the gist, that nothing is possible without seeking the presence of a true master, true spiritual master in its own life. We will continue with this journey further also. I remember I have not taken up some questions in the Slido, but be assured that the further sessions, which will definitely be a continuation of the same topic, we will address those questions. Thank you to all of you. Wish you a healthy and a prosperous life. I pray for that to the lotus feet of Sadhgurudev. See you next time through the same channel, through the same media. Until then, good day, goodbye, Jai Sadhgurudev to all.